Hello and welcome to Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Anek and coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the major stories. Federal government plans health coverage for 50 million Nigerians. Governor Moino orders immediate revocation of land ownership within Ibom Industrial Park area. Plus, details of these stories and more in a moment. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. To begin the news this afternoon, the federal government has promised to provide health coverage for over 50 million Nigerians, especially the vulnerable and elderly people by 2027. The special advisor to the President on Health, Salma Anas Ibrahim, made this known in Abuja at the pathway. According to Anas Ibrahim, no one will be left behind in the federal government's universal health coverage. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization country representative Dr. Walter Molumbo said the desired goal of leaving no one behind was achievable with the determination of all critical stakeholders. Away from that, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has said it is set to take new measures to stabilize the naira against the dollar. Acting Governor of the CBN, Folashandun Sombi, made this disclosure to the State House correspondents after briefing President Bola Tinubu on what the bank was doing to halt the slide on Monday at the State House. On ordinary citizens, Sombi said he assured the President that the CBN is actively working to improve liquidity and stability in the market, including addressing issues in the parallel market. In a separate development, the Forum of Former Deputy Governors have appealed to the leadership of the All Progressives Congress, APC, to ensure that they are accorded recognition as members of the National Executive Committee, NEC, of the party. At a meeting with the leadership of the party in Abuja, the forum, led by a former deputy governor, the members of the forum, the national chairman of the party, Abdullahi Adamu, gave his word on the eliminating conflicts between governors and their deputies. On petroleum matters, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has spoken up as regards the widespread concern of a possible hike in the pump price of premium motor spirit, PMS, popularly called petrol. In a post by the company on its official pump price of petrol, recall that oil marketers had on Sunday indicated that the cost of petrol would rise to between 680 naira per litre and 720 naira per litre in the coming weeks, should the dollar continue to trade from 900. In another development, the Ogun Area 1 Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted 1,245 live ammunition allegedly concealed in 203 bags of foreign rounds. The revelation was made by the Customs Area 1 Controller, Bamidele Makinde, who said the ammunition was with 17,637 naira duty paid value. The area controller added that an investigation was ongoing to unravel the cartel responsible for the attempted smuggling, calling on residents to furnish the command with useful information. Away from that, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has sworn in the newly appointed 24 commissioners. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the new banquet hall of the Government House, where the new appointees were also assigned portfolios immediately after the oath taken. While addressing the commissioners, Mohammed tasked them to ensure constant community engagement in the respective local councils, with their commitment and efforts for further growth and development of the state. Back here on the home front, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has ordered the immediate revocation of ownership rights on all undeveloped lands with the Ibom Industrial Park area at Mbaritam 3 into local government area of the state. Governor Eno, who gave the directives while inspecting the industrial park area in view of siting the proposed fashion and shoe factories, clarified that the purpose of these revocation was for overriding public interest. According to the governor, the state government was also considering reconstruction of collapsed roads around the area to ease transportation around the industries that would sprout within the industrial park. He decried the idea of a few privileged persons acquiring parcels of land in the area designated by the state government for industries and not using them for the intended purpose, maintaining that such was unacceptable and tending towards frustrating the good intentions of government as represented in the Arise agenda. He therefore directed stressing the readiness of the government to bring in investors to utilize this space and create jobs for the people. In the meantime, the Akwa Ibom State Governor Moino yesterday approved the commencement of work for Governor Eno, speaking while inspecting the health post and land donated to the state government for the primary health care facility, commended the self-help efforts of Ikonkwa community and their magnanimity in donating the parcel of land, which he described as demonstration of goodwill and acceptability to the station of the goals of the Arise agenda. The governor also commended the health officer in charge of Ikonkwa Health Post, Peace Efyong, for her show of commitment to serve humanity by utilizing the Akona Sukuo will be a healthcare haven for antenatal and other women and children-related healthcare needs. On his part, the acting village head of Ikonkwo, Obongibanga Nyema, also thanked the governor for the kind gesture and declared the total surrender of the parcel of land to the government with assurances of community cooperation for the project to be executed. Moving now to Africa, the United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has underscored the importance of pressure in ensuring that the Niger junta releases President Mohamed Bazoum, who has been held in his residence since he was ousted by the military on the 26th of July. He commended the leadership of the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, President Bola Tinubu, for the decisions taken to reinstate the toppled Nigerian leader. Blinken's spokesperson Matthew Miller made this known in a statement. Reports, however, say the leader of the Niger junta had agreed to explore diplomatic dialogue. Still in Africa, Ethiopia's House of People's Representatives has voted in favor of the state of emergency declared by the federal government over violence in the Amhara region. Reports say an airstrike has killed at least 26 people in Ethiopia's embattled Amhara region as deadly clashes rock the Finoti Salam region. According to reports, the strike in the region was the most severe since the clashes between members of the Ethiopian army and a local militia known as Fano erupted in towns and cities across Amhara after months of tension. On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has been charged with attempting to overturn his 2020 election defeat in the state of Georgia. Trump, who is the leading Republican candidate for presidential elections in 2024, was indicted along with 18 other allies, including former Trump's lawyer Rudy Giuliani, former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and the former White House lawyer John Eastman. Reports say the former president and his co-conspirators are accused of violating Georgia's Racketeering Act, solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, conspiracy to impersonate a public officer, conspiracy to commit forgery in the first degree, as well as false statements and documents. Still on the foreign scene, Hawaii Governor Josh Green has said that the death toll in the state's wildfire rose to 99 and could double over the next 10 days. Governor Green said more fatalities are certain as emergency responders with Caveda dogs worked their way through hundreds of homes and burned out vehicles. Speaking earlier to newsmen, Green warned that over the course of the next 10 days, the number could double. Varane heads winner as Manchester United edge out Wolves in season opener. To stay tuned for details of this and more after the break. Thanks for staying tuned in now to the rest of the news stories. On our business news, the federal government says about $20 billion annual investment would be needed to achieve the desired gas expansion projects in Nigeria and deepen the use of gas across the country. It disclosed this through the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative (NIETI) at the Decade of Gas Action Plan Dialogue organized by the African Initiative for Transparency, Accountability and Responsible Leadership in Abuja. The Executive Secretary NIETI Ogbonnaya Oji explained that for the gas utilization policy of the federal government to work, there was a compelling need for deliberate, ambitious investment in gas infrastructure. This, he said, would include investment in specific connectivity across upstream facilities to processing power plants and other end uses. He pointed out that the largest gas reserves in Africa was in Nigeria, as the country's gas reserves was the ninth largest globally. He called on the federal government to increase its crude oil production in the short run beyond the current level to have money to diversify and invest in other alternative sources. Still in business, oil marketers say the foreign exchange crisis in Nigeria and the recent implementation of a 7.5% value-added tax on automotive gas oil, popularly called diesel, had pushed up the cost of the commodity to between 900 and 950 naira per litre in many states. According to them, the development has made local manufacturers say that the situation may lead to the closure of some factories and job losses. Speaking under the aegis of the National Oil and Gas Suppliers Association of Nigeria at a press briefing in Abuja, the marketers explained that their inability to access the United States dollars was impeding their ability to import diesel. The national president, Nogasa Benneth Courier, told journalists that the cost of diesel was around 650 naira per litre before the federal government introduced a 7.5% VAT on the commodity. Recall that on June 20, 2023, the federal government had commenced the implementation of the payment of 7.5% VAT on diesel. Moving to our health news. Nigeria has performed its first ever minimally invasive open heart surgeries on 4 patients in a private hospital in Lagos. Reports say the operations were coronary artery bypass grafting, CABG, off-pump and mitral valve replacement carried out without big cuts on the chest, while the hearts were beating. A renowned cardiologist and professor of medicine, Kama Adeleke, made this known to journalists in Lagos, revealing that one of the patients was an 81-year-old woman who needed a valve replacement. He disclosed that the surgeries were carried out in Lekki, noting that the feat put Nigeria on the world map and on the list of the few countries in the developing world with the capacity to perform such surgical procedures. Still in health, the World Health Organization data published in 2020 indicated that lung cancer deaths in Nigeria reached 1.295 or 0.09%, while the age-adjusted death rate stood at 1.37% of 100,000 of the population, ranks Nigeria at number 178 in the world. Lung cancer, according to oncologists, is one of the major health concerns in Nigeria. They warned people against daily exposure to carcinogenic and radioactive substances, noting that there are risk factors for the killer disease, which often spreads without symptoms. They noted that besides active smokers, people working in certain professions may develop lung cancer due to their regular exposure to predisposing factors. In sports, Raphael Varane scored the winner 14 minutes from time as Manchester United gained a fortunate win against Wolves in their opening game of the new Premier League season. Eric Ten Hag's side hardly created a chance of note until Bruno Fernandes found Aaron van Bissaka with a superb pass inside the area. The right back calmly lifted the bouncing ball to the edge of the 6-yard box, where Varane used his height to get above Nelson Semedo and head home. It was extremely harsh on Wolves, who made light of last week's change of manager to produce a superb performance in Gary O'Neill's first game in charge. O'Neill was booked for his protest in claiming for a late penalty as United clung on for a fortunate victory. Still in sports, Chelsea have completed the signing of Brighton midfielder Moises Caicedo for a £100 million fee that could rise to a British club record of £115 million. Reports say Liverpool had agreed a £111 million deal for the 21-year-old Ecuador player on Friday, but Caicedo's preference was Chelsea, and they finally succeeded with a bid on Sunday evening after having a succession of offers rejected. Caicedo, who joined Brighton for £4 million in February 2021, has agreed an 8-year contract at Stamford Bridge, and the Blues have an option of a further year. Meanwhile, the additional £15 million in payments is based mostly on appearances. On our entertainment news, the Chief Executive Officer, $10 Entertainment Group's Miwa Tedola, has endorsed Queen Stafaya and iBoy MP with their new singles to be released on September 1. Otedola said that part of the company's plan is to invest in the Nigerian entertainment industry to enable it compete favorably with its international counterparts. He said part of the plans includes nurturing up-and-coming artists, saying they represent the future of the industry, which would be in various aspects of the industry. According to him, the plans include songwriting, promotion, branding, script writing, production, directing, photography, video editing, and audio-visual work. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum Television News at 12. I am Uyai Aniak, and thanks for watching, and do enjoy the rest of your day.